Funny thing with making videos is you never know what to do for the intro. I ponder if other content creators have difficulty with it. I ponder if there's any content creator that has an easy time with how to intro a video. That would be really fascinating. Perhaps they wouldn't have an internal monologue. Funny how the game works sometimes. But anyway, yeah, let's get into this video, I suppose. I don't know the title of this video. What is the title of this video going to be? Inception1? Do I drop the Inception1 on them right now? Oh, who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens here. So, you know, the reason everyone trolls the internet nowadays is because truth died. And everyone's looking for it. But it's dead. It's killed in action somewhere. Probably thrown into the ocean in a very heavy box with some holes drilled into it for good measure. Look, look, I've made a discovery about the truth, and it's that the truth is antimemetic. If you ever see the truth, you stumble upon the truth, you're not supposed to remember what it is. I don't even think there's language that exists to explain what it is, or perhaps they obfuscate the language on purpose. But I don't even think there's language that exists to explain what the truth is. You know, there's a funny thing, I'll get to the anti-memes later. There's a funny idea going around where people always say they want to decolonize this and that. Decolonize thoughts, even. You know, to decolonize thoughts, you have to invent a whole new language, a whole new philosophy, a whole new understanding of sociology. Like, you probably have to get the true history as well. You can't decolonize. That's an awful lot to do, and people just cannot do it. Play around, man. People can't do that. I don't think there's anyone that exists that can do that. Perhaps they would have to have, 250 IQ or something. And be motivated. Imagine. A motivated genius. Nah, never gonna happen. So, anti-memes. Anti-memes are things that are supposed to be hard to remember. They are a concept taken from the SCP Foundation. That whole universe. There's good vibes over there if you like your horror stories and all of that, I suppose. Well, they're horror stories, not movies. It's different. Horror stories are, well, I'll talk about stories in another video, to be frank. I'll just talk about the function of stories in another video. But, yeah, the truth is an antimemetic article. If you ever stumble upon the truth of this society, what the makers want to do with it, and all of that, because it's an anti-meme, you wouldn't be taking the detail. Like I said in the last video, you're taking the detail, and as soon as you look away, or even as soon as you perhaps zoom in on one or another element, it's all gone. So it's an anti-meme. I must say, very well played by the apparatus. But I know now. So we'll see what happens if I can find a vision sometime in the future. Look, even if you learned the truth, you wouldn't be able to tell anyone about it. I suppose if you started connecting enough dots, they probably just assassinate a man then. But I mean, look, they probably assassinated. That's what they did with Bill Cooper. So, hey man. Yeah, Bill Cooper was onto too much anyway. As soon as you start talking about the symbology, their deities, and all of that, brother, you better be anonymous or have Trump security. Although Trump security didn't stop him getting compromised, so it is what it is. Let's see here. Now let's see here. So back to the decolonization. Who's this guy? Man, who's this guy that's popping off in the geopolitical space? I forget his name. Bashir or something. Whatever, man. Whatever, the people will know him. The people that need to know him will know him. Yeah, he was the one that, quite obviously pointed out, yeah, you actually have to make new language, new ideas, if you're talking about decolonizing of the mind or anything, really. Entirely new concepts of society, and people, rather, people talk all this shit, but they don't actually consider what that means. What does that actually mean? How do you go about doing that? But someone smart comes along and says, yeah, actually, here's what you'll have to do. And if you're motivated enough, go on, you can start the project. You can start the project, no one will stop you. Maybe the apparatus will stop you, but yeah, your thing has to really gain some traction for that. You have to have a nation before they stop you. But anyway, how will the technocratic oligarchic apparatus become four-dimensional from here? Because it is now evolving from a three-dimensional entity to a four-dimensional entity. It's not going to be a one-world government. They're not going to do that unless they run the alien psyop, to be frank with you. And the alien stories don't seem to be landing in their news media. So, they're not going to run that. And I don't think they can justify escalation to nuclear annihilation and then there's a alien intervention, so I don't think they can justify that either. But they can set up Axis powers of some sort. And this is what's going to happen with the BRICS and NATO. And I don't know, perhaps a third power will emerge somewhere, but this is what's going to happen. And your countries will have a new map. The lines on the map will have new lines drawn over them, denoting the Axis powers. But anyway, that's for, I don't know, perhaps 20 years in the future. But it's coming. It's coming perhaps sooner than that, but quicker than you think. With the whole developments around Ukraine, has America lost this war? America, funny man, they've got such a strong military, but they lose war. Well, it's not even America's war. Excuse me. Right, it's not America's war, it's Ukraine's war. Here I am speaking incorrect anyway. Sorry, I know there's an FBI agent watching me. Supposedly, I've got reliable information that I turned one of these men. Yeah, you like the show, innit? Yeah, okay. He's wondering what the fuck I'm going to do next. Okay. Don't worry, your replacement will be joining you. But yeah, the technocratic oligarchic apparatus is going to become four-dimensional. It's going to be Axis powers. And there may not be a third wing. Of course, your surveillance will ramp up, so yeah, that's what they're getting shit started with the YouTube IDs and all of that. I don't even know if I have to do that YouTube ID shit. My account is surely over 18 years old, so I give a fuck, nigga. The fuck? Crazy. Crazy at YouTube, bro. Jesus. Or is my account fucking 18? When did I make this account? Oh well, I could check the fucking data, but I don't even give a shit. But yeah, this is why they roll out all this shit. The digital ID has already been rolled out. People just jumped to it. Because it's more convenient to go digital than stay analog, even though analog is technically safer. But anyway, I suppose it won't matter with surveillance ramping up. You see the Chinese surveillance system, they can see through the masks and all that shit. That's coming to a city near you. It's coming to a suburb near you, in all likelihood. It could already be there. So like, pay attention when you're letting the men them do the knife crime and all of that shit with the masks. Like, pay attention, because they're gonna use that shit for something. I don't know what angle they're gonna use that shit for in order to gain power, but they're gonna use that shit for something. They can't do the fucking they can't outlaw knives or make you have to have a license to have a knife. That's outrageous, right? People aren't gonna, brother. That's we might as well revolt at that point. Although the Brits are already defeated, so will they revolt? I don't know. But you might as well revolt at that point, brother. I can't even cut meat at home without license now because the man didn't went crazy with knife, brother. You see, the thing with the knife crime is so crazy. Y'all gotta have some standards for each other, man. I'll be frank with you. You gotta have some standards for each other. There's a video I come across where there's this incident outside a club. Some guy's getting knifed up by a gang. He's trying to get away in his Mercedes and he gets blocked by traffic or some shit. Like, it's all a madness. He gets out, he runs. I don't even know if he gets stabbed or not. I'm surprised people are videoing this. Do y'all know how savage that shit looks right now? Man, them people in villages would not want to live around y'all. Fuck all that modern shit. Look, it's made them go crazy. And the people filming are jumping to the abandoned car saying free car, free car. That's crazy, bro. That looked crazy to me, my nigga. That looked crazy to me, my nigga. What are you talking about? Hey, y'all think like the white people gonna want to live near you? That's crazy, man. But anyway, y'all gotta have some standards, man. It's not enough to say, ooh, the government gotta come in and say, no. The government, something gone wrong in the households or somewhere. Right, somewhere in the village, educating the children is gone wrong. It's gone terribly wrong. But anyway, right? Black men don't like to be told that there's standards to be passed when they're, when they're willingly going behind enemy lines, supposedly. Right? Everyone likes to run the racism thing, so why go behind enemy lines? The coin can't be that good. But anyway, man. Anyway, we're going to talk about a few things in this video. I think I will title it Inception1. We'll cover the F1 when we get to it. I suppose I should start talking about the elite network. I'll start with the black nobility. And we'll see what else we get to. Alright, so I might as well start going through the elite network. Now we'll touch the prison water consciousness some other time. Yeah, we're gonna start with the black nobility today. Yeah, why not? This is a good jump off point, if any. What is the black nobility? The black nobility refers to traders of the first monarchy. We'll watch the first monarchy, we'll get to that. But black nobility refers to traders of the first monarchy and black elites, black nobility, black monarchies as well at the time in Africa the black nobility was formed. This iteration of the black nobility was formed during the slave trade era. Right, the slave trade era came about, and we're getting very esoteric and occult here, so I don't know, buckle your seatbelts or some shit. Right. But the first slave trade era came about from the black nobility up north, the black monarchy, I should even say, up north. What do I mean by up north? How far up north? It's on Britain. In Britain and Germany, to be specific. But the black nobility up north got revolted. There was a revolution. They got overthrown by the then serfs, white slaves. And so they obfuscated the history, and they came up with my evolution eventually as a storyline, and so on and so forth. There is some quote-unquote evolution, would be better to call it husbandry, but whatever. Where are we in the stack right now? Do I explain how it was a black monarchy that got revolted on? The first settlers of Britain were simultaneously Neanderthals and black Homo sapiens. They did the swirl thing, right? You see, let's already be speciesism, never mind racism, by their own fucking narratives that they put out here. But we still talk about racism for some reason. That's whatever, man. But well, they arrived at the same time, quote unquote, black Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, which would quote unquote white. The Neanderthals came about from, how do I say this, the proto-village. Proto-village is, Homo erectus was much more sophisticated than they let us know by their own fucking narratives. But well, Homo erectus organized into society, or some sort of proto-society, and sent out an expedition team, and that expedition team ended up in the Nordic region. And eventually some genetic drift happened, and Homo erectus in Africa at the proto-village became Homo sapiens, and the Homo erectus in the Nordic regions became Neanderthals. And then, of course, exploration happened again, because this is the instinct that got them where they were to begin with. And then, yeah, I don't know, maybe they were running from some cryptid or something up north. But then they ended up on the island. They ended up in Britain. Who knows when? We can say one arrived before the other. Not sure it would matter. One was more dominant. That was Homo sapiens, and black was the thing, innit? Black was the thing, right? If you were to look at my profile picture, you could invert that. And that was the state of the world at the time. If you invert it, where the black man was quote unquote up top, black monarchy up north. But anyway, that black monarchy got overthrown, and the history got obfuscated, and of course the serfs had to have help from someone inside that wanted power, and so those ended up becoming the black nobility. And they picked up some slaves in Africa as well, and they didn't go hunt for the slaves. There was a trade. They bought the slaves, all right. But yeah, some of the black traders from the first monarchy up north were settled in Africa, and some were settled in America and given the surname Freeman. And boom, that's the birth of the black nobility. You keep this shit on the down low, and yeah, the benefits will keep on pouring in. It's because of the black nobility, for instance, that mineral-rich African countries cannot organize. Right? Any attempts to organize, if you start trying to organize some shit, or you get Gaddafi or something, who the fuck knows? Yeah, you get banged. That's all you gotta know. Any legislation that would end up making the minerals cost real dollars or something. Like, nah, brother. The black nobility ring up the powers that be, right? Ring up the other global elite, and they say, yeah, there's a guy over here. He's a bit of a problem. He's doing a bit too much. We're gonna need one of your MK Ultra cells to act. Send in a spy, send in an assassin, something. You gotta put this guy away because he's gonna make the minerals cost money. And then they don't get the benefits and the trinkets. The slaves were sold for trinkets. Black nobility quite liked trinkets. They didn't have the trinkets that the black monarchy had, right? All the bling and all of that. That's why a lot of the men in America like the bling. Right? It was very much a status thing. Way back when. But yeah, the black nobility, they're the ones keeping... You ponder how they get all that gold onto the space station and all of that. Where are they sourcing all this gold? Brother, from Africa, for cheap. Where are they sourcing the gold that's in the engines of the F1 cars or on the engines or what have you? From Africa, nigga. Black nobility's all over that. They get the rare earth minerals for cheap, mined with near enough slave labor, and them benefits keep rolling in. And that's been the arrangements, and the black nobility in America. You know, people will ask, what about slavery? Brother, they were part of the elites already. They were given the surname Free Man, like the Boondocks characters, Freemans, Robert Freeman, Huey Freeman, and all of these lot. Freeman, interesting name, that one, right? But yeah, they were given that name to denote them, and of course, some slaves freed themselves and were also given the surname Freeman. They bought their freedom. I don't know how they got money, but whatever. Things happened, didn't it? Maybe some other white man bought a slave's freedom, and things metastasized from there. But yeah, not all the freemans that you see in modern America are part of the quote-unquote black nobility. Black nobility, I mean, they're so occult and esoteric anyway. Like, you will rarely see the real black nobility. If you get high enough on one of these occult food chains, you probably see them. But that's if you get high enough. If you're one of them, man, them shit. Oh shit. But anyway, I suppose I should address some other things. Why did the signs read "No coloreds allowed"? Because this became a slur up north, right? It's actually funny thinking about it, man. But the colored became a slur up north. The colored man them here made it an identity. So it's all funny how things play out. But why did they say no coloreds allowed? They said no coloreds allowed because if you've been on the channel, you know what I'm finna say right now. They said no coloreds allowed because they already mingled. Dark skin already became light skin, caramel, whatever. It's already, brother, the swelling already happened. This is why they had to say that no coloreds allowed. They couldn't say no blacks allowed because now this black ain't looking that black no more. Both the black man and the white man really want this one. What's going on? You see? Lust already beat racism, man. Lust already beat speciesism. But they said no colors allowed because the races already mingled. wasn't as clear cut as them men are black and these ones ain't black. It wasn't as clear cut as that. The color's already mixed, so what's you gonna do now? Lust already prevailed. What are you gonna do now? Man, I wonder what happens if you lock a racist in a room with a fine woman of the race. I wonder what happens. Does a baby come out like brother? Anyway. Anyway, I've made a note here. The black man is the culture. Why have I made this note? I wanted to demonstrate the black man's ability to warp the culture any way he sees fit. I don't think there's a better way than the shape of woman. You see, the black man started filming rap videos and started putting the woman that he wants to see on the rap videos. And now that is the shape of woman. Now, the black man did this, he executed this in the face of Hollyweird. Hollyweird putting up the woman with the boyish frames and all that. They couldn't ride that. They had to bring out Scarra Joe, it is what it is. But they couldn't ride that. That was never good. The boyish frames, they do the girls with the boyish frames because they like boys. To put it frank, them Hollyweird niggas like boys. You see, this P. Diddy shit that he's gotten away with because it was adults involved. But the fact is, a lot of the shit these men get up to does not involve. They're getting up to a lot of shit with a lot of these kids that get kidnapped this way, that way. A lot of kids from orphanages this way and that way. That's the real shit that's going on there. But anyway, look, man, even against the whole Hollyweird apparatus, black man has changed the shape of sexy. Changed the shape of sexy. Suddenly women want BBLs to get the shape. Don't get the BBLs. But suddenly women want the BBLs to get the shape. Before it was going under the knife for Pamela Anderson job. That's what it was for. Before you get the breasts bigger or something. That's what it was for. Now it's the BBL. It's fascinating with them. No, I will not actually talk about their relationship dynamic. But anyway. Black man, you so much more powerful than you think. I'm just saying, black man. It's not all black men. But if the black man is the one moving, it hits different. Right? It hits different because you have the prince of the first village. But yeah, look, black man changed the shape of woman. Against the whole Hollyweird apparatus. Hollyweird having to keep up. They gotta hire butt doubles and shit on the sets now. Like, it's crazy. So careful out there. They keep you down for a reason. So I had this thought pop into my head. Inception1. I was well considering this whole fixed one and wonderful drama. I'll get to wonderful later. But, well, I had this thought pop into my head. Abu Dhabi 2021, the world of F1 got inceptioned. All of those who didn't fall into the dream state. Oh, let me get topical, right? Because wonderful, he liked the Naruto. He likes Naruto, the anime. I don't know. Did you read the manga? Like, I talk about Naruto in chapters, not in episodes. So I don't know. But well, it's like F1 got put in a Mugen Tsukuyomi. Yeah, I even use the Japanese now. I don't use say infinite Tsukuyomi. That's some nerd shit. Mugen Tsukuyomi. I suppose Wonderful has given up the fight, so he's now also entered the Mugen Tsukuyomi. Felipe Massa's Inception1, for him, started in 2008. He really believes this title is his. And I understand people are going to say, oh, Bernie's backing him or some shit. Bernie's been given the brief that, look, Sir Lewis Hamilton's, we're going to have to engineer the thing for Sir Lewis Hamilton to rectify the metaphysics, or he's going to have to win that shit in court or something. They can't have it happen in court. That would be crazy. They can have Massa's thing happen in courts long after the fact. Right, but yeah, they told Bernie, go assist Massa, because we can't have anyone getting 8. 8's a very special number in the occult scene. It's infinity, perfection. This is why my belief is that there was going to be a paradigm shift if Sir Lewis Hamilton won the 8. There was going to be a paradigm shift in society. What that entails, I don't know. But, well, they said, no, that can't happen. You saw what happened, but now you're denying it. Wonderful, that's a funny one. But yeah, we saw what happened, and Inception1 began. Some people are still in the dream. They spin the totem, and the totem keeps spinning. They don't stop. Maybe the totem gets up again and starts spinning if you turn your back on it. Who knows? Right, but the world of F1 got put in an inception. And so consequences that occur in the real world are delayed in F1. What do I mean by that? Well, Red Bull breached cap along with the whole Massey situation. Yeah, but Red Bull breached cap. And there have been delayed consequences for that. Why have the consequences been delayed? Because we are in Inception1. If F1 is still a sport, then yeah, we're in Inception1. In reality, F1 became entertainment after Abu Dhabi 2021, and so we are in WWF1. Or perhaps both can happen at the same time, who knows? But yeah, Inception1 started. You see in the scene, I ain't even watched Inception, but I've seen the dream within a dream scene or all of that shit. Whatever relativistic consequences are happening to the person's body and head whose dream space they're in, those consequences are delayed in the dream space. Or it's slower, there's a time dilation or a time compression, I don't know. Is it a time compression or a dilation? No, it's a time compression. Yeah, there's a time compression that takes place there. And so F1 is encountering a time compression itself. Why do you think the Red Bull is so slow now? Because now they've applied the real consequences for breaching the budget cap. That's why the Red Bull is where it is. Of course, the occult game board still takes over, so, you know, Old Spice, he can buy some boosts here and there. I'll speak about all of that later, but Old Spice, he can buy some boosts here and there, and maybe a result can be had. Like what happened in Japan. But I mean, look, even what's going on circuit today, 2021 is still playing out. 2021 ain't over. Silly, bro. Some niggas are silly. 2021 isn't over. 2021 is still happening now. Out on circuit when you turn on the telly on Sunday to watch the Grand Prix. You're still seeing the consequences of 2021, so 2021 ain't stopped. If what happened in 2021 was all above board, at the very least you would be seeing Verstappen versus Piastri and Lando Norris for the championship. If what happened in 2021 was all above board and there was no metaphysics to cover. But that's not what happened, innit? Massey got fired. That doesn't rectify the metaphysics. Red Bull now getting whatever's happening at Red Bull. I've spoken on Red Bull. Red Bull now getting dismantled. And well, we just have to see what happens. Will they, won't they? Who knows? But look, the idea that 2021 is over, it's gone. You gotta expand your thinking. You gotta think on longer time scales. Massa's coming for shit from 2008. I don't believe he has a case, but well, is the judge even real? The judge could be an MK asset. Right, he's coming for shit from 2008. You could argue the consequences of 2008 are still playing out right now. He could make that argument. Bernie, no doubt gonna try recruit me to the legal team. Nah, brother. I ain't gonna give y'all a fucking assist on that, brother. I do ponder what various parties are going to do if Massa wins his case. Because strictly for optics, a Sir Lewis Hamilton or Mercedes or Toto Wolff will have to open a case over 2021. Strictly for optics, mate. And then there'll be some kerfuffle because Messi is still under NDA and I can already see the movie. But I really do ponder what some people are going to do. Some men who have given up the fight, not because they don't have weapons for the fight, but because they're just buying the lie now. I wonder what some men are going to do. Yeah, things can change very quick. It takes a long time for something to tick over, but when it ticks over, it can tick over in a big way. We'll see what happens with Massa. I don't believe he has a case. But it is quite peculiar that Bernie is backing him. He's no doubt handing him some very expensive lawyers for the case. But anyway, Inception1, man. You let yourself sleep. You let yourself just give in to the Mugen Tsukuyomi. Just fuck it. I'm gonna let the man win on this one. You know why they can run what they're running in Gaza? You know why they can run this whole bullshit proxy war over Ukraine and all that? You know why they can run that? Because 2021 happened. And people like a Wonderful who are giving up the fight, you are proof positive that their whole apparatus works. You're proof positive, mate. Here's someone who was fully believing in what he was saying one day, and the next day he started talking the lie. I should probably finish reading 1984. The book might be about you. Unfortunately for me, I just find sci-fi more entertaining. If 1984 was 3084 or something, I definitely have finished it by now, but oh well. Oh well, the Neil Asher novels are just more entertaining, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. You like Naruto? You like that shit? That's kind of basic anime. I'll be frank with you. There's a basic anime level, but to speak on your level, yeah, you could never be one of the heroes in Naruto. Never. You're not Sasuke. You're not Naruto. You're not Kakashi. You're not even Sakura, my nigga. You ain't sleep. You're in the Tsukuyomi now. Unfortunately, I can't title the video Mugen Tsukuyomi 1 because how much of the audience even knows how to pronounce that? I end up with some of the wrong people getting onto the channel too if I do that, but it is what it is. Inception1 shall be the title. It's all the same shit anyway. They just tailor it for different audiences, innit? But anyway. Spin the totem, my man. Tell me if it stops. Alright, let's cover some of the F1. So Spa, no wet races allowed, innit? I've talked about the wet races, wet tires, I've talked about it already. I ain't gonna talk about it again. I said my piece. There was a Ferrari upgrade. Everyone's bringing upgrades. You see, when I say the Ferrari car is bad, bro, the Ferrari car is bad. The Mercedes car is bad as well, to be frank with you. The Red Bull car is being made bad by outside forces. Right, these guys, Mercedes and Ferrari, the people that had to switch concepts. Right, them cars ain't good for the ambitions people harbor around those teams. People want to see Mercedes win. It's not going to be one. Not with that car. Maybe the next regulation, but not with current car. Ferrari, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a title challenger. Not in current regulations. Not after they had to change their concept from that scooped side pod thing to what they're doing now. Right. So, you know, when Leclerc puts it, you see, when Leclerc puts it on pole in Hungary, and people jump up saying, "Oh look, the car is actually good." It's one pole, bro. It's one pole. It's a very fortunate pole as well. Huh? It's a very fortunate pole as well, because none of the favorites set their fastest times in Q3. Or they didn't set a personal best on their last attempt, or any of their attempts in Q3. So the track didn't get faster for them. It's very or they just made mistakes, what have you. Very fortunate pole. So the car even has to get lucky to get on pole. The detail was missed by everyone though. It's oh no, you know, people are so quick to try fucking put Sir Lewis Hamilton, the great one. They're so quick, man. The way people are so rapid with it is proof enough that he's not falling off. If he had fallen off, people wouldn't be so, oh shit, now he's falling off. No, bro. No. The car is bad. Yes, Sir Lewis Hamilton is underperforming in that car. Absolutely. But the car is bad, man. There's a detail about Ferrari. Leclerc, or the car has been designed around Leclerc. The thing Leclerc has been doing is he sets the car up to one or the other extreme, either extreme left or extreme right. I'm just saying left and right as spectrums, okay? And whatever problems the car produces, maybe it's oversteering, maybe it's understeering, what have you, he will drive around it. That's a bad way to be running a car. So Lewis Hamilton gets to the team, he's trying to find these happy mediums, these perfect setups. The car ain't designed around that. It is a bad car. Because Leclerc can wring out some performance on a very lucky Q3 run, does not make the car good. It simply does not make the car good. But man, everyone's so quick, even in Spa, man. So Lewis Hamilton spins with the upgrades or whatever, new brake system, whatever they put on that shit. Some people are so quick, man. Brundle even have to pull the brakes when people say, "Oh, hold on, I think the car has betrayed him." Just relax yourselves. Because Brundle knows you don't lose the driving. I don't know, they can probably switch it off with this MK Ultra, the MK Ultra Voodoo. There's a thought. Anyway, I already said the whole video is alleged, didn't it? We cooking here. But yeah, all of a sudden, come race day in Spa, some of the wet stuff comes down. Of course, they weren't allowed to race when it was wet. But yeah, some of the wet stuff come down, and suddenly people are like, "Oh my God, should Lewis Hamilton done a masterclass?" Brother, just relax, bro. Nothing's supposed to happen at Ferrari this season. You know, I understand people want the movie to happen right now. Nothing's gonna happen at Ferrari this season, guys. This ain't the one. I'm not so sure, but we'll get to it later. Right now I have to talk about Piastri versus Mclaren for a bit. But the Ferrari thing, look, I don't know how much weight to put on the whole both Sir Lewis Hamilton and Adamir being sabotaged and all that. I don't know how much weight to put in that. I imagine some of that is happening, but I don't believe upper management at Ferrari are going to just let that happen. The asset's worth too much money. So, maybe there's some Italians over there that say black men cannot be setting up a Ferrari better than a white man or something. Who knows? Some craziness, right? Yeah, but whatever. Then they get just ignorant, but it's okay. Ferrari were ignorant about setups before Lauda went, and then they made a movie about it. Whatever, man. Old habits, they die hard. Anyway, let me talk about Piastri versus McLaren. This is also a potential title of the video, working title of the video. We got episode 1 of Piastri versus McLaren in Spa. They try to goof him on strategy, but he drove around it. Fascinating thing about Piastri right now after Spa, I'm not too sure where his ceiling is, because he's not driving the car to the maximum. He had to drive the car to the maximum in Hungary, I suppose, but that was very interesting what he did there in Spa. Very interesting. He didn't have to be that good on the day, but he could have been better. Fascinating. But yeah, if you are asking me, I will tell you, quite frankly, it seems so going by what's going through my head right now, that yeah, McLaren tried to put one over Piastri in Spa, and they tried to do it again in Hungary. It's funny, in Hungary, I can't rationalize why they pit Piastri so early. I can't really rationalize it. Not when you're in the better car. I just don't get it. I didn't get it in real time. People might say it's hindsight and all that, but brother, you've got the best car at Hungary. Just stay out. I understand they might think, well, Leclerc's car is going to be fast or something, but brother, you got more pace, even on worn out tires, to be frank with you. And you'll make it up by not having to make another pit stop anyway. So like Hungary, I didn't understand why they pit Piastri so soon. But they were trying to undercut Leclerc. I just don't get it. Why? Why would you even? That Ferrari's gonna get out. You see, this is the thing. I identify the Ferrari car as bad. That Ferrari car is gonna fall out your way sooner or later. It's not gonna be there. Who am I? I'm just some random on the fucking internet. Like, brother, that Ferrari's gonna get out of your way. You don't have to be worrying about undercutting the Ferrari or some shit. It's not that good car, my nigga. But that would be if McLaren were being all sincere with it. Really, they try to get Norris a win, and they succeeded this time. Piastri could not drive the strategy. We'll see what happens with the rest of the season. Yeah, we'll just see what happens, quite frankly. What am I expecting for the rest of the calendar after the break? Let's see. Zandvoort, I am looking out for Maximilian Verstappen at Zandvoort. I wouldn't be surprised if he catches a strong result or even a win. I would not be surprised at all. Monza, now I'm looking for a Ferrari win. Realistically, McLaren should be winning all the Grand Prix with one or the other driver after this break to the end of the season. Realistically, unless something weird happens in the Grand Prix, some crash or some shit, who knows. But aside from that, McLaren should realistically be winning all these. But F1 ain't quite the same since 2021, innit? Especially since the Americans came in, I tell you what. So here's what I'm seeing. I've already spoken Zandvoort, Monza, Ferrari, possible win. If Ferrari are going to win this season, it's going to be at Monza. They'll have all the voodoo running on them cars. All the damn voodoo. Azerbaijan. Maybe Ferrari might find... No, actually Mercedes might find a win in Azerbaijan. Who knows? Singapore, I would just expect a McLaren. If someone else is strong in Singapore, that's so dubious to me. If McLaren are not just sweeping that, so wildly dubious to me. Like, you're making it too obvious now if they do that. Circuit of the Americas as well, McLaren should be running that. No two ways about it. Mexico, I can't call. Mexico, because the altitude, they'll do some voodoo with the altitude. I can't say who'll be ahead if they do run the voodoo at Mexico. I can't say if it's going to be Verstappen or one of the Ferraris or what. Likewise, Brazil, I can't say. Maybe Ferrari might come alive in Brazil because Lewis Hamilton got the Brazilian passport and all of that. Who knows? Some shit might happen. Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So, if they're going to do some far too obvious hijinks that the people will just let slide by, it's going to be Vegas. Qatar, Abu Dhabi, I expect these to be clean races. Although, who knows? If Abu Dhabi come around and the championship is neck and neck, I actually expect the championship to be decided by Brazil or Vegas, to be frank with you. Unless Piastri is not winning this championship, I don't know. I don't know. If Piastri is not to win this championship, then the championship will probably still be on by the time we get to Abu Dhabi. But anyway. Yeah, realistically, McLaren should just be sweeping all these Grand Prix that are coming. Of course, a crash might happen, or a fucking reliability issues or something. All of that could happen, but on performance, yeah, if the race winners from all of these are not just Norris and Piastri alternating in various patterns, then something weird must have happened in that Grand Prix weekend. But anyway. There is a possibility that Ferrari don't win a Grand Prix this season. That would be fascinating. That would be super fascinating. I'd love to see what they do the next season then, because there'll be recoil in the Italian media. And even in Ferrari and Fiat upper management, I tell you what, there'll be recoil for sure, but yeah. That's if Ferrari don't win. I mean, if they don't win in Monza, that would be crazy. But anyway. Heck, if they don't podium in Monza, that would be crazy. Like Ferrari get the second and third on the podium or something. Then I think, they might let some shit fly for the season or whatever. They might just give up on winning a Grand Prix for the season because they got good enough optics at Monza. But if Ferrari don't win in Monza and don't lock out second and third on the podium, we're really in Inception1. Who knows? It might be Inception2 by that point. But anyway. Alright, I find myself having to speak on assessing intelligence. Because I don't quite like that a lot of people in various spaces are identifying me as a quote-unquote smart. I don't quite like that. What is smart? I'm certainly not that smart, so what is smart? I accept I may be a bit smart, but not that smart. I argue a bunch of people are smarter than me. They just one, haven't acquired the knowledge I have, or two, don't want to have the knowledge I have and don't care to think that deep about things. So really, what is smart? Does smart mean you have a high IQ? I understand there's going to be some people who just say, just take the compliments or something, but can't really do that. Because some compliments mark you as a threat to certain people. I'm sure the women know well enough, if you're too pretty, then you are a threat to some of the other women. If you are too strong or influential, then you are a threat to some of the other men. If you're too smart, as a man or woman, you're a threat in general. So it's not, when people start assessing me or someone else as, smart or something, I'm curious, what does that mean? I definitely don't have any sort of noteworthy IQ. I don't know, I don't think my IQ score is anything noteworthy. Or who knows, maybe all these IQ tests are all bogus and shit. I know the ones that ask for your race are absolutely bogus. You just completely skip those ones. If the IQ test asks for your race, skip it. It's not doing anything. It's there to program you, no doubt. Skip it. Any IQ test that is asking for your race, that's not for their data or some shit. That's not what they're doing. They're altering your score. But whatever. Whatever, man. Assessing intelligence. Does someone smart do smart things or say smart things? I don't really think I say anything particularly novel or original or what have you. Like, you know, what I'm saying is out there. You just have to go get it. So some pieces you might have to put together yourself, but they give you the pieces. Alright, there were some really smart kids I went to school with. For some reason, they didn't know glass was made from sand before I asked a question which skipped a few steps to the teacher or some shit. They were smart. I'm actually disappointed with some of the career choices of some of these guys, man. Smartest kid in the damn grade became a plastic surgeon, man. I understand there's money, but like, come on. Maybe he don't have the hands for neuroscience or something. Like, come on. This guy was supposed to cure cancer or some shit. It's not supposed to be fixing BBLs, and I understand that's not what the majority of the job is. Like, you know, you're gonna need plastic surgery coming out of an accident or something with some gruesome injuries like this. This is the real application of plastic surgery. I understand all of that, but the money, the skrilla, the real economy, because you're not banking on people being in accidents. Ideally, no one's in an accident. So the real skrilla is in the cosmetic surgery, but it is what it is, man. Understandable. Really smart people really like money. Really, really smart people really like privacy and anonymity. Really, really, really smart people like to change the world. And then they change the world for selfish means, or they get corrupted by the apparatus. I mean, look, I wouldn't worry too much about how smart someone is or someone isn't. Maybe the latter, how smart someone isn't, that is worth worrying about. Unfortunately, there is a limit. Like, okay, you're a bit too slow to be in here. I love you, but you can't be here, bro. I suppose there is that limit, but otherwise, assessing intelligence, I don't know. I just don't like being considered smart, because I know well enough that now I'm a threat to some people. And they know well enough that I know shit that they just don't know. That they just wouldn't have considered. I didn't get those things from being smart, just do some fucking research. I understand it's harder to do the research now because the apparatus is clamped down and all of this shit, and free speech is not that free and all of that, I understand. But, I mean, if you have a will for it, you'll do it. I mean, some sources, I suppose you could always go to Chronicles of Judah. Like, if you just follow Chronicles of Judah for, 6 months on Patreon, I'm sure you can decide what to pay him, if you even have to pay him. I'm sure you could just pay $0 or something. But I'm sure if you pay 1 cent or something, you'll get onto his Patreon and you'll have access to all his videos. Because he stopped posting on YouTube. YouTube made it too hard for him to post his shit. So he went straight Patreon. But yeah, if you want like the real education on the occult and all of this shit and how all the society pieces together, like, I recommend just going to Chronicles of Judah 144. You can search his channel and you'll have a Patreon link. I am not going to be posting a screenshot of the channel because it's a trusted source. Y'all must go find it your damn selves. That's, people who are motivated to find it them damn selves aren't going to be the Karens or something. Damn, Karens are crazy, bro. You see, you have to navigate Karens on this fucking modern internet. Shit, man. It's crazy out here. Just explore, lads. Everyone has instincts to explore. You just explore. I suppose one has to approach exploration and knowledge acquisition sincerely for this to work. But I mean, as soon as you start doing that, like you'll also be being called smart and shit. Like it's not. I don't understand the smart thing. I don't understand. Real smart niggas can launch nuclear warheads and shit. Like that's serious mathematics going on down there. Harder than your AP maths and all that. That's serious mathematics. Hey, AP maths kicked my ass, brother. I suppose I didn't even take it seriously, so it was gonna kick my ass. But yeah, AP maths kicked my ass, boy. There was a time at like the start of the second year where I was like, yeah, when they start throwing cos, sine, and tan at you and all that shit, I'm like, brother, where am I gonna? Am I becoming an engineer? I'm not gonna use this. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh god, I don't even know when to use it. How do you decide to use the cos or the sine or the tan? How does this work? Someone gonna explain. Someone real smart gonna explain, right? There's people calling me smart. I don't even know when to use cos, sine, or tan on the damn scientific calculator when they start throwing that shit on you. That's crazy. The imaginary numbers was easy. That was like some basic shit. I was like, oh, this is cool. This AP maths? Oh, that's cool. Brother. That's the shit for them smart niggas. But anyway. Me, I'm not that smart. I just know some shit. And some people could know that shit too, but they don't take knowledge acquisition seriously. So it is what. Mind you, you can do knowledge acquisition on stupid endeavors. Ooh, my football knowledge. Ooh, my F1 knowledge. This ain't important knowledge. As a general rule, how I run things is like I'll just use IQ as the barometer. You've got do I slur? Retards? It's not it's the it's the identifier. So I don't know. You've got retards like 90 IQ and below, or functional retards. Actual retards is lower than 60 IQ, I think. And then after that, you've got midwits from like mid-90s range to about 145, something like that. 145 IQ range. And then 145 to 150 kind of hazy. Like you get entry-level genius over there. So you got your entry-level genius starting, for me, I would argue 148 specifically. The hard number, I think, for Mensa and all of that is 150. And I think functionally out in everyday society, it's 145 for like entry-level genius. And then after that, you've got your mid-level genius or a developed genius starting at about 165, 170 range. This is still not all that impressive, and like it's rare, right? It's absolutely a rare IQ number, but it's not all that impressive still. You know, someone at that IQ range doesn't have the economy of words of someone who's like 180 plus IQ, or particularly the 200 plus IQ. You see, for me, smart starts at like 180 IQ and 200 IQ plus. Like now you're functionally an alien, really. Like 200 IQ, if you read some of the quotables and shit from 200 IQ people, your Marilyn Vos Savants, your James William Sidus and all this shit, they have such an economy with words. They say a whole lot with very little words. It's so fascinating. I mean, what Carl Jung is estimated to be at 160, he gets when he's writing, his IQ is a bit high, I suppose, honestly, because his written language doesn't read as 160 IQ or Carl Jung. Carl Jung's written language reads 180 plus IQ, quite frankly. Everyone below that just many words to say, not all that much. But yeah, if you're not dealing with 180 plus IQ, I don't really think there's much value in, oh, this one's smart, or not really that smart relative to where we are at in society right now, where we're at in the timeline. I mean, heck, you have to have a pretty... You have to have what is recognized as a quote-unquote high IQ to just be using computers and cell phones and shit, just be using the technology. Quite frankly, yes, there's some very low IQ people that are using the technology, but like, just because you can scroll through YouTube or make a Twitter post or some shit, you're not really using the technology. But it is what it is, man. It's just, I don't... Oh well. People will do what they do, right? You can't really stop how people interpret you, so it just is what it is. Anyway. Am I gonna cover the Sydney Sweeney outrage? Nah, I'm not motivated enough anymore. It's just stupidness. Yeah, we stopped it. Yeah, we'll skip that. The short and sweet of the Sydney Sweeney outrage is that you men are stupid. Or I don't know, one of these operators out here put a battery in the people's back or some shit. I don't know. The Sydney Sweeney outrage is weird. Weird, bro. I suppose that we can talk about the culture war for 40k. There's a culture war on for 40k right now. What's 40k? Warhammer 40k. Grimdark, sci-fi setting, the demons, the war, the space marines, the god emperor. It's all that good shit. That tyrannism, yeah, all that good shit. The orcs. The Eldar, we won't mention the Tau. Aside from saying we won't mention the Tau. You know, it's funny with 40k, there's this whole elitism around the 40k, the guys that do the figurines. Like, brother, them figurines are expensive, man. How can you be elite? You think you get to be elitist about that shit because you're earning in pounds or dollars or some shit? Like, the spending looks reasonable. Like, no, them shit's expensive, brother. Me in rands, way, that shit expensive, homie. I'd be better off renovating a room. Hey, shit. But yeah, the elitism over the 40k miniatures and shit. Yeah, stop that. Y'all niggas just, yeah, stop that, bro. That's weird. They made video games and novels and shit for a reason, because them shit's expensive, bro. And even the scarcity market around them just makes it even more expensive. Like, stop it. Stop all of that, bro. The price gouging and all that shit. With the price gouging, and you're gonna be elitist about, oh, you gotta own the minis, or you're not real. Nah, bro. Nah, brother. My nerd, I need you to just chill out for a second. Alright? You're drawing battle lines you don't need to draw, because you'll lose that war, I tell you right now. Anyway, there's a culture war on for 40k. The left does not like 40k because there's no female space marines. There's in-universe reasons for that with the Emperor's gene seed and all of that, but you can probably write around that. That doesn't matter. The detail about space marines is that no one wants to be a space marine. So, you know, for you to be saying, oh, there must be female space marines and primarchs and all that shit. Brother, you're gonna send these women into war against demons and all types of monstrous xenos. Crazy. Crazy. That's not how 40k is set up. And so you can change how 40k is set up, but the war of 40k is supposed to be horrific enough that you don't want women engaging in that shit. Yes, you do have the Sisters of Battle, but they do it just on faith in the Emperor and all that shit. That's a different thing. And that's a super powerful thing for them, because they can't be corrupted by chaos, which, you know, I suppose the people who are warring over this 40k shit want the female space marines. They don't even know that. What a superpower. You can corrupt the space marines through chaos. There's whole stories, there's major story arcs around that shit. The Horus Heresy and all of that. Major. You know, them space marines are flawed. They live horrific lives. If you don't die hard enough in battle, you get put into dreadnought and you will serve for another fucking eternity. You know, they got extended lifespans, so they live for like a whole millennia. Just as them, brother, horrible. Horrible. Live for a whole millennia through all these wars, brother. The infinite war of 40k. Right? It's not supposed to be for. It's not a cool thing to be the Space Marine. There might be glory in it, but God, what a cost. So, you know, for people who are into 40k, you know, for people to be like, oh, there must be female Space Marines, that's weird, bro. That's weird. You already got the Sisters of Battle, and the Sisters of Battle are super duper cool. Super. Proper unreal cool. Execution of women in the verse. But oh well. The left is never quite satisfied with anything. Look, I'll tell you one thing. If 40k changes in some meaningful fashion, then I don't think the left and right can be friends anymore. Right? This is why I'm talking about the culture war for 40k. You know, y'all messing with shit you shouldn't. Y'all really messing with shit you shouldn't. Like, there's some things to each side of the political or cultural spectrum that are quote unquote untouchable. And for you to want to mess around with 40k, that will do irreparable cultural damage. But, well, I suppose people will only believe it if it were to actually pan out that way. Yeah, I genuinely believe left and right can't be friends anymore if 40k, which the right wouldn't accept it. The conservatives, they wouldn't accept it. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I've put a note here to talk about frequencies and vibrations. I'm sure people are aware of high vibrational thoughts and energy and low vibrational thoughts and energy. People themselves are vibrations. People themselves are frequencies. You have an imprint on you from the universe. Alright, which electromagnetic frequencies from the celestial bodies out in the cosmos were impacting you during your fetal development? You have that imprinted on you. It's a star sign. They have defamed star signs, but if you were to read up on Maurice Cottrell's research, or just watch some videos on Maurice Cottrell's research, you'll find that the star signs are actually a reliable indicator to what type of decision making people will engage in. So yeah, how real are the star signs, man? You know, the women keep up with the star signs and all that shit because it's real. It doesn't really matter how much some scientist or something tries to debunk it. Like the arm of Sagittarius is a real thing. There's a real thing out in the cosmos. The physicists themselves mapped that. Like, you understand? So, if it's real enough for them to map it and name it, and the sun itself, I mean, shit, there's even... Oh, Maurice Cottrell was on some smoke, man. Has he passed? Yeah, he's probably passed by now, but damn, he was on some smoke, man. Even where you are around the sun, the closest source of electromagnetic energy, ergo frequencies and vibrations to us, even where you are around the sun during your fetal development, that's a major imprint. So this is why it matters when you're born in the arm of Sagittarius, or the arm of Leo, or the arm of Capricorn, or what have you. This shit matters, because it's your first frequency. It's your first vibration. And of course, your frequencies and vibrations can change as you go through life. Oftentimes, when you sense resonance, right? Oftentimes, when you sense resonance, that's when I was talking about crushes last time, right? And crushes are. Did I talk about crushes when talking about instinct? Probably not. But yeah, when you're crushing on someone, it's resonance. And you're interacting with strings of fate at that moment. Because the frequencies are because the frequencies are resonating with each other, you're currently interacting with fate in that moment if you're crushing on someone. Of course, you could crush on your current significant other, you could be crushing all the time. That would be something like true love, but I don't know if people get true love nowadays. I really don't know. We're entering a stage right now in humanity's development. Why I wanted to talk about frequencies and vibrations. We're entering a stage right now where, because anonymity is on the increase, some humans are now adapting to have a tacit feel for others' frequencies. Right? You get a tacit feel for someone else's frequency if, for instance, they display bloodlust. Right, the animals hide their bloodlust very well. I don't know how they hunt like that. It's quite fascinating watching them outside doing their thing. The birds in particular, they just catch. I understand all the different animals have a different sense of time, but they just catch all these flying bugs so easily. It's like, well, how are you not spooking the bug? Right, because they can hide their bloodlust. Bloodlust is a very strong frequency. When humans display bloodlust, whether you are adapted to sensing frequencies and vibrations or not, someone is in bloodlust. This is why your fictions can make a trope of it, the bloodlust trope. This is why they can make a trope of these things, because this is a thing you can experience out in the world. But now we're reaching a point where some people are, quote unquote, evolving. It's just adaptation. They're adapting to society being more anonymous. And so some people have become tacitly aware of these vibrations. They might not know what each vibration means, but they are aware of them. I look forward to seeing how things change, because things will change. Of course, on very long time scales, we're talking, 20, 30 years, we'll see what happens. But yeah, things will change. We shall see how the apparatus adapts, because this is humanity now adapting to the apparatus, so we shall see how the apparatus adapts in return. But anyway. Alright, I must address a wonder fool or wonder flip-flop. I don't know what we call it. I don't know what to do with this brother now. It's funny, there was a lesson I learned a while ago. There's a quote about it. You'll know the quote. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Now, people who've never held power in some fashion, right? Power can come to you in various ways. But people who've never held power, they really don't get this. They really don't understand this saying. I'm sure this is why the politicians can actually do what they do. I'm pretty damn sure. I'm pretty damn sure this is why the politicians can actually do what they do. Because people just have never experienced power in any sort of setting. And so they're not quite aware about how corrosive power can be, particularly to the character. What's so fascinating about this wonderful versus fixed one situation? It's that wonderful had power on Fixed One because Fixed One gave him his real Facebook. You know, that screen cap is crazy, man. To threaten to dox someone because they say you're talking BS over a topic they've been researching for years. It's not that you're gonna unseat his channel, you stupid. That's so stupid, man. This guy's ego. This wonderful guy is all ego, man. It's not that you're gonna unseat his channel by I don't believe this about 2021 no more. No, is that you were quite literally talking bullshit. So I mean, to threaten to dox off the back of that, crazy. Power does some crazy things, man. Power can come to you in funny ways and funny packages. And if you've never really held power before, then it lands different. You don't know what to do with this. Then your head gets screwy. Yeah, I mistreated someone when I was given power. I had to apologize to that person. I mistreated someone when I had power, a long time ago, in a very small space. I had to apologize for that. But that was power in a very small space. It was an irrelevant space, not any sort of important space. It wasn't a work environment or something. It was not a... But I learned that day that, power does some really crazy things to people. Some people are just not ready at all to handle power. You know, I was thinking about how to tackle this whole wonderful situation. And there's a roast coming, of course. I'm going to be roasting nigga, it is what it is. Because he's shown some dubious character traits. But now this came to me. This little topic on power. What is power? When do you gain power? Why do you gain power? I mean, information. What's it? Knowledge is power, they say. So if there's an equivalent exchange of information, suddenly you have power over someone just over that. Some people aren't aware of it, some people are aware of it. Wonderful got upset that his likeness was used in the video or something. I mean, look, he could have used one of your gym photos. The thing is, you made that shit public, you posted it. I didn't want to see no fucking workout pictures, but here I am, scrolling the YouTubes, and oh look, Wonderful posted some workout pictures. Oh, fantabulous. You relinquished your power over those images unless you licensed them or something. Then that would be a legal issue. You wouldn't be threatening to dox. He could have used the workout photos. You wouldn't have had grounds to complain. You see, as soon as I piece this whole order of events together, first you start talking bullshit about Silverstar, and then Fixed One calls you out, then you have threatened to dox. I mean, as soon as you threatened to dox, I didn't even know you had threatened to dox when I made that comment on your Gaza video. You know, I should have already gone gloves off just off the back of that, man. Gaza video is crazy. What's you talking about Gaza for now? Trying to use it as some morality beat stick. Are you crazy? After you announced you are giving up the fight for 2021, you cave to the lie? Excuse me? You know what's so crazy, man? This guy said he's done more for this space. Which space? Is it the black F1 space, or is it the F1 truther space? Because, look, for the black F1 space, you ain't done more than Cameron or Wolfpack, to be frank with you. I will be completely frank with you. They've done more than you for the black F1 space. What, Cameron was interviewing... Not Cameron, excuse me. Wolfpack was interviewing some father of a karter, and he was elucidating on the expenses of karting and all of that. Black man, black father. So he's done more for black F1, so with a black F1 space than you. Cameron, he's getting up on the... You see, I can actually respect Cameron because he didn't flip-flop. He didn't flip-flop. He said, I'm here to get this F1 Skrilla. I'm here to get the Peter Winsell feature on the channel, all that shit. And he stuck by it. He stuck by it. He didn't let Abu Dhabi move him, sway him. And now he started talking fast and loose about the F1. He didn't let that happen. He said, no, he stayed focused on his mission for the Skrilla. I can respect that. I can respect that. But the flip-floppity shit and then getting upset when you get called out? Nah, man. You a child, boy. You a boy at that point. You see, my account is called Boy Dio. I made the account when I was a boy. And I knew I wouldn't change that name because it's just fantastic. I even leave the 10 just for effect at this point. Oh my God, I even leave the 10 in there just for effect. But I knew, Boy Dio, that's a banger of a name. The Boy God. Oh, you didn't know Dio meant God in like, how many, like 20 fucking different languages or some shit. Alright, the shit I'm doing on this channel so far above what you're doing on your channel. Alright, I seen you saying you done more for the space and all of that. You ain't done more for the black F1 space than the parties I've mentioned. And to be frank with you, in this F1 truther shit, I'm top of the game. I don't even want to blow my own, toot my own, smell my own shit like that, but I'm top of the fucking game. There's videos I posted that I forget about. That video I forgot about is more valuable than your whole channel, including the deleted videos, my nigga. Including the deleted videos. So, don't let your head get big. There's no amount of subscribers you could collect. There's no amount of views or likes a video of yours could hit that'll ever put that shit above what I'm doing here. My shit different. I know my shit different. Your shit can't. Your shit not on my level. So I don't be coming out here making claims that, oh, you've done more for the fucking space. And stop it, bro. You've brought the space into disrepute. Beefing with everyone. Beef. I don't even understand the beef with Wolfpack in post. What was that beef about? Do you even understand what that beef was about? I had to critique Cameron when he thought the Mercedes was better than it was or something. I don't know, when Alonso was driving around the outside of Sir Lewis Hamilton. I had to call up Cameron on that, but I mean, shit, I'm pretty sure even if I was watching his channel, there wouldn't be all that much shit to critique anyway. At least as far as Milquetoast1 goes. You see what's funny, wonderful? Your channel grew on Milquetoast1. All the topics that they will allow onto the airwaves. That's what your channel grew on. Milquetoast1. Here I am, I come out the gate, I'm talking meta-commentary, metaphysics. Here's the fucking shit that's coming down the pipeline. I'm correctly telling you what's coming down the pipeline. My shit different. My shit just complete on a whole different... You don't even get to compare yourself. But Milquetoast1, that's what your channel grew on. I ain't doing no Milquetoast here. Nothing on this channel is supposed to be easily accessible. I mean, you can click the video, that don't mean you're going to be able to access the video. Nothing on this channel is supposed to be easily accessible. It's esoteric for a reason. My shit not supposed to grow like your shit, because your shit was Milquetoast1. As soon as you stopped talking that Milquetoast1 shit, you were talking about Abu Dhabi here and there with some spice for horn and all of that. As soon as that happened, what happened? Channel growth stopped. You see, I told you on one of your deleted videos now, fucking right after 2021, right after the Abu Dhabi thing. I told you during December that, well, if they, whoever they are, right, you can go pick some party from the elite network that I posted earlier. But I told you that they would neuter your channel. Well, if your channel is not at 20k subs this time next year, and next year at that time was going to be December 2022, they've neutered your channel growth. I told you that. Did you think I was lying or something? Man, it's funny. Niggas think, I just say things for effect or some shit. I'm not saying shit for effect. Your channel was supposed to hit 20k growth, 20k subscribers at the very least, if they didn't neuter your channel growth. But look, they neutered your channel growth. What makes you think they're not neutering everyone's channel growth? What makes you think all of us who talk sideways about 2021 and Abu Dhabi and this and that, what makes you think they're not neutering all of our channel growth? I'm so curious, man. Is it just you? That's ego talking, man. That's ego. You see, the problem you have with me is that, one, I don't expect to succeed by the metrics. I exceed on a whole different. I succeed on a whole different time scale to you, right? You give up the fight after a few years, what have you, 4 years now. That's when you give up the fight. Yeah, I'll give up the fight after 30 years, 40 years, maybe. We'll see what happens. Because I'm going against the apparatus. Forget about the F1 shit. Like I've said in various videos, which, you don't even... It's funny, man. You can tell when a nigga doesn't have enough respect to even research what people are talking about, how people are talking about it. Or maybe it was impenetrable because evidently one of them kind of stupid, one fool. I mean, you must be stupid to threaten to dox and still think you're the victim at that point. Like, you gotta be stupid. You just gotta be fucking stupid, man. You know what's so disappointing? Looking back at all of this shit. We had a chance to beat the machine with resonance. And here you are, wonderful. You actually had an obligation to signal boost anybody that was talking correct about Abu Dhabi 2021. That was your role if you had a sincere interest in or my justice and all of that shit. That was your role. You failed at your role. Doesn't matter if you signal boost now. It's too late for that. It's too late for that. The time to signal boost was as soon as Fixed One emerged or was on the radar. Like that was the time to signal boost. I found Fixed One when he was at 1 point something odd subscribers, or maybe at 2k. I don't know. I found him somewhere around there. And even me, how many subscribers was I at that point? 200 and something. I said, yo, whoever's on here, you have to go check out this Fixed One guy. You have to. If you have any sort of sincere interest about turning over this whole 2021 situation, then you have to go check out this Fixed One guy. Right? You had an obligation, wonderful. If your interest was justice, you had an obligation to signal boost anyone. And the thing is, you signal boosted FF1, which is funny. What's the difference between signal boosting FF1 and Fixed One? What's the difference? You were talking about white privilege. The people who have listened to the whole video give a fuck about white privilege, bro. I'm past this whole race thing. This shit's in the rear view for me. This shit's so far in the rear view for me. I can't really take claims of white privilege, bro. So is there a black privilege? Because here I am with all my melanin, and I don't know. I didn't get no shout out. So I don't know what's going on. Not that I particularly want or need the shout out, but I didn't get no shout. What's going on? What's going on, brother? You see, race stopped mattering. If after 2021 you're still concerned about race, then I don't know, man. I don't know. Then you never had a chance. You never had any chance, because that was the milquetoast one. That was the milquetoast. Oh, look, your channel was growing when you was talking about my racism and all of that. Yeah, that's the milquetoast one. Race, all this shit is part of the grand conspiracy. It's a whole lie. So as long as you are feeding into that lie, guess what? Man, get this guy up the algorithm. That's how it works, brother. Now you could say I was still talking about race while talking about Abu Dhabi. Yeah, talking about the Abu Dhabi is spicier than any of the other shit you could do relating to relating to F1. Excuse me, spicier than any of the other shit you could do relating to F1. Far spicy, too spicy. Scoville units going uppity up. That race shit, your channel grew on that because, brother, you're just feeding into their lie. It don't matter. Like, what, do you think you're gonna expose they're racist or something? Like, how can they be racist? There's too many black people in the garage right now. You can't even say F1 is sexist. There's too many women in the garages right now. Like, what? There's women on the pit wall, women in the pit crews. Oh my days. There's a man in the football space who's a Chelsea fan. I forget his name. He got trades, but a lot of these men have trades, so I don't know. But he's working for Williams, he said. He's one of the garage boys at Williams. I don't know if he's going to the Grand Prix or if he's just at the factory. I think he's just at the factory, but he's working at Williams, bro. It's representation everywhere. You can't be talking about racism right now. What they did in 2021 was beyond racism. Beyond. There was a higher purpose to this shit than racism, brother. Racism, they still talking about. White privilege, my man talked about. That's crazy. You know this guy wonderful? He thinks he's Skepta. Skepta. You know how many subscribers Skepta is on? Skepta is on. Yeah, I saw that comment. Yeah, homeboy. I remember a lot of other shit from various videos that were even deleted. Right? You see, deleting the videos as well, that was dubious. Like, the videos don't belong to you as soon as you post them. Unless you license them on copyrights or some shit. The videos don't actually belong to you. They belong to the quote-unquote community. People journaled their experiences on those videos, and here come Wonderful. He's just gonna chop them videos off. Are they privated or what? Are they really deleted? That's crazy if homeboy really deleted them. You see, there's emotional instability. You got the emotional stability of a child if you're doing all that, man. On God. You see, it would have been much more respectful if you just said, hey man, look, I want my channel to make coin, I want it to make money, and to do that I can't be talking about 2021 and all that shit. And be like, okay, thank you for your service, soldier, go do your thing. I wouldn't even care that you ain't shout out no one at that point. Go do your thing. But instead, you do a whole flippity flop. You put on a mask. Did you put on a mask or did you just show your other face? I don't know, man. This man got two faces. You can make $1 million. A smooth $1 million filming a bukkake scene with this nigga with two faces. I tell you what, man. It's just so fucking... It's disappointing, man. We were supposed to beat the machine with resonance and you forfeited your role. You forfeited your role because you think too small. Stupid. Just stupid. Just a stupid nigga who takes these numbers on the screen too seriously. You take these numbers on the screen so seriously, man. What? How many subscribers do I have now? 430 odd or something? I seen 435 when Fixed One posted, when he's signal boosting my video. I forgot about some of the shit I said in that. And that is not a conspiracy video. I genuinely forgot. You know that video? Shit, man. The shit that's playing out right now in Gaza. You can find an answer as to why that's all unfolding in that fucking video. You see, we've been talking about serious shit this whole time, and then you get Wonderful come out the woodwork saying, oh, you ain't talking about Gaza, you ain't good people, you talking about these... Brother, the whole machine is connected. An atrocity going on here is the reason you can have the glitz and the glam there. Do you understand? The reason they can run the Gaza situation is because, shit, their technology is so airtight, we even fucking fooled the fucking world with this Abu Dhabi 2021 shit. It don't even matter that there are people who weren't fooled. There weren't enough people that weren't fooled. And now here you are. You weren't fooled, but, oh, you wanna, like I said, man, you wanna just join in the Mugen Tsukuyomi, you want to go into the dreamscape. That's fancy. That's fantasy. How you can be pretending that, oh, your channel is not about hate. You've been on a hate campaign on Norris for fucking years. You think I forgot that shit because you deleted the videos? Fuck, boy. Jesus. You've been on a Norris hate campaign for years, for no reason. So because he said some shit. Verstappen also said some shit. Vettel said some shit. Alonso said some shit. Everyone said some shit. Sir Lewis Hamilton said some shit when he didn't have the car no more. Everyone says so. You're not getting on everyone else for saying some shit. But, oh, Norris. Oh, he's under the magnifying glass for you. Silly, bro. Silly. I know you didn't watch none of my videos well enough. I was talking about your Lando Norris takes for years. All of a sudden, now here he is. He's in the title fight. He's passing the eye test well enough to be a quote-unquote legitimate title challenger. And you've denounced conspiracy theories, so you can't even say McLaren are fixing things for him. And now what? You're gonna fold? You're gonna fold when you can't really hate on Norris as you want to as an outlet. Jesus, man. Jesus. You're gonna fold when you can't lie to the audience, when you can't run your Lando Norris psyop, when you... Oh, well, what are you gonna do? Post a song? I don't know, man. I don't know. What, am I gonna get a diss track at me now? You know what's so funny, man? How many years you been doing music now? I did music for 4 years. I got offered a record deal. Now I'm a devout man, so I can't be making no music. I suppose I could make some music, but my missus gonna see it anyway, and she's gonna have a fit. Now, I don't know, she might jam out. But yeah, I got offered a record deal after 4 years. I could just jam a guitar riff right now which would have more musicality than all your songs put together. Not that they're necessarily bad songs, but there's levels to this. there's levels to this shit. Like, your songs ain't on the playlist. My shit, recorded off a fucking cell phone, got me a record offer. Turned it down, by the way. So have you gotten a record deal to like turn down in all these years of doing music? I'm so curious. Have you like gotten a record deal? Has someone sent your music to some or another music exec or music producer and been like, hey, check this guy out? You know, get busy with the connections. Do the talent scouts go for you? Like, I don't know, you go freestyle at the music store or out in the streets or something. Do the talent scouts say, hey, give you a card and say, give me a call or some shit? Now, has any of that happened in your life? Because if not, I don't think you should be doing no music. Much in the same way I don't think you should be threatening to dox people. Much in the same way I don't think you should be threatening to throw hands with people. Brother, some of the shit this guy does, bro. Hey, some of this shit... Dude, you threaten to dox the wrong person? You know, one piece of advice I can give you with doxing. You threaten to dox the wrong person, or you just outright doxed the wrong person. You should have just doxed, fixed, wholesale. To be frank with you. Why do I say that? Because the consequence is the same anyway. You threaten to dox or you actually dox, the consequence is the same. You'll have some yes men or trolls who just lap up whatever you say. That's all good. Now it's funny, that comment I posted on that Gaza video, I'm sure some of the people you're pandering to liked that comment. Right? It's funny, you're a little plaything to them now. All they can really do is slander Fixed One. They can't actually debunk anything he says, they just slander him. So whatever. And if they try to debunk it, then I don't know, man, it's like arguing with flat earthers or something. And of course, you know, these men just get booted on this channel. You know, you could post on the channel if you're one of these, if you're Carmelton or something. You could post on the channel, but I demand sophistication from you. I demand it. Don't come in here with some stupid troll baits or some shit. I demand sophistication. If you're going to argue something, you better have your ducks in a row. Because I got my fucking ducks in a row. You know what's so funny, man? This wonderful guy, you come across as someone, like I said, you're a boy. But even further than that, you've not integrated your shadow either. Now, I've come across children who've integrated their shadow, quite fascinating creatures. But you've not integrated your shadow. Granted, not a lot of people in their lives integrate their shadow. So here you're given a bit of power over Fixed One. And because you've not tamed your shadow, oh, you went wild with power. You know. Did you think you were still the good guy? Or some shit? That's crazy, man. How are you gonna threaten to dox someone and think you're still the good guy? That's mad. It's mad. Oh, I was saying, man says he's Skepta, man. Man thinks he's Skepta. Man says asking him for a signal boost is like asking Skepta for a signal, or him asking Skepta for a signal. No. You crazy, bro. You crazy. Asking you for a signal boost is not like asking Skepta for a signal boost. It would be like asking a rapper like Nick Bonin for a signal boost. Nick Bonin is on what? Almost 19k subs? That's what that would be like. It wouldn't be like asking Skepta. Crazy. To compare the Skepta thing, if Fixed One were to ask the equivalent of Skepta, that would be like asking... That would be like asking the Formula 1 channel No, seriously, no. That would be like asking the Formula 1 channel to post his video. I would understand if you had 100k subs or something. I would get it then. But you're just on 10k. 10k is not... I understand, like I've said before, 10k, to fit 10k people in your home or something, that's a lot. But in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's not a lot. And these numbers on the screen are not real. These numbers on the screen are like numbers on forums. If you've been on forums, and there's reputation, and it counts your likes, how many ratings you receive, and all of that. It's like these numbers. These numbers aren't real, bro. These numbers aren't real. Subscriber count is like your reputation. It's like your reputation counts on a forum. How many subscribers click on any one video that you post? Now, what's the hit rate on that, really? Now, it's not 11k that click on the fucking video when you post. So what is that number? That number is just there to gate functions. That's all. That's all that shit is there to do. And you can get all angsty about, ooh, I got my numbers organically, here. Like, did you ever ask for subscribers? Because if so, your shit was not organic. Never mind talking milquetoast1 and shit. I can forgive that. But if you were asking for subscribers, like, then your subscriber count's not organic. So why do you have so much ego about this shit? If you want subscribers, you just ask for subscribers. I want people who subscribe of their own volition, so I don't ask for subscribers. I don't ask for likes. I ask for standards if they're gonna get into the comments. But otherwise, I don't ask for it. You know, if you gave the video a listen, that's all I really need. Watch time. Watch time, brother. You know, people gave your channel so much watch time, and here you are just flippantly saying, like, you just flippantly fobbing this shit off like the watch time doesn't matter. The watch time is so fucking important, bro. How do you think your channel got up the algorithm? Because people clicked and stayed. That's such a... Do you understand how strong a metric that is on the algorithm? Like, seriously, man. But here you are, you're just fobbing it off. You don't actually appreciate the efforts of people who took a liking, a shining to your channel. You know, all their collective energy, if we're running it all organic, is what got your channel up. My energy is in that mix. You know, and here you are, you just fob it off like, what? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You don't respect people's intelligence. You don't respect their research. You don't respect their energy. You don't, just zero respect. Zero respect. I don't even know what to make of that, of now trying to use Gaza as a moral beat stick. I don't even know what to make of that. That's just so like, what? What? You can't tell me because you saw a picture of some starving children in Gaza that all of a sudden you're now motivated to talk about Gaza or some shit. Like, what? That's actually fucking offensive. Them children been starving for years. How you just seen a picture? There've been videos doing the rounds of that shit on the YouTube. Are you crazy? And here you are suddenly wanting to make some fucking soapbox points about morality and all this shit. Boy, shut the fuck up. Shut the actual fuck up. My advice to you, don't post no F1 content. That's my advice to you. If you're gonna post the F1 content, understand that you're gonna post milquetoast1 only, because you're not actually ready for this shit. I can understand if you see Lex F1. I love Lex F1. Why do I love Lex F1? I love Lex F1 because he was sincerely offended by the events of 2021. He might not have guns, weapons for the fight, but his heart's in the right place. I can appreciate that. I don't know, unless let's say if once somebody changes a tune or something, I don't know how this game works no more. Oh my, then maybe you had to get it, maybe you had to change his tune to get some subscribers going or some shit, but I don't know how this shit works no more, mate. But I can appreciate someone who's offended but doesn't have weapons for the fight. Here's wonderful, he had a weapon, and now he's sheathing it and he's saying, yeah, I'll serve the lie. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I suggest you don't make no more F1 content. I also suggest you stop the music thing. You're wasting your time. Unless it really is just a passion project, because you know, if you're saying you want to be recognized as the best lyricist, it's not going to happen, bro. I'll tell you straight up, it's never going to happen. Not in this universe. Hey, not in this one, but anyway. But yeah, have some fucking respect, man. Have some fucking respect. This dude out here acting like his content is the most bangingest, the most realest, the most... No, nigga. No. My content's so real, it makes people who wear a mask that says real on the top stay the fuck away. Because that mask gotta come off when you come here. That mask gotta come right the fuck off. And I know well enough people be talking about me in their private spaces. I know well enough. This happens everywhere I go, so I'm used to it. I'm used to it now. Oh yeah, I was trained for this, wasn't I? But yeah, I'm used to that shit. I know well enough wonderful is talking about me this way and that way. With whom I wonder. It's no doubt someone who respects me. Funny that one. I could take a guess, but there's no need to. There's just no need to. Yeah, man. Threatened to dox, wanting to throw hands with Spinola, beefing with everyone. Beefed with Cameron, beefed with Wolfpack, beefed with Spinola, beefed with FF1, beefed with Fixed One. I know you couldn't beef with NS and C because they're too sophisticated for you, and you probably couldn't beef with me because I'm also too sophisticated for you. Stupid. Stupid. Bringing the whole space into disrepute, threatening to dox, beefing everyone. Brother, this guy goes to the gym for a few months. He puts on a little bit of scrawny muscle and now he thinks he can box everyone. Brother, some people have more muscle mass than you. They've never been in a gym. Some people are better fighters than you. You wouldn't know until you're throwing your hands. It's too late then. Some people have more capacity for violence than you. Alright? This whole throwing hands thing, that's very childish. I can't even believe this guy threatened to go throw hands with Spinola. Like, shit, bro. Shit, what did Spinola do? What did Spinola do? I'm so curious. What did he do suddenly? Oh, I'm gonna go throw hands. Brother, this guy likes, you got a child and you like putting yourself in these dangerous situations that only single men should be entertaining. I don't know, you could have a child and be single, but like, you got a child, bro. You got something, you got someone to protect. Here you are wanting to go throw hands over some internet shit. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You go throw hands with the wrong person, you're probably not coming back. Matt, what you want? That's very immature. That's very stupid. That's very foolish. That's a lot of things, man. Definitely not clever. Definitely not manly. Right? Don't be fashioning yourself as a quote-unquote man if that's how you go about doing shit. It's crazy, bro. I'm sure you've not even done any sorts of rites of passage. Man's calling himself a man, though. Like, that's crazy, bro. You see, I was nice enough to tell you on that Gaza video that you had already lost. I didn't even know about the doxing thing at that time because you had deleted it already or something. You hid that shit real quick. But I told you on that one you had already lost. If you're now mentioning Gaza or some shit and trying to make it a whole... Ooh, you are immoral because you're talking about the billionaires. Brother, even talking about Gaza, you're talking about the whims of a billionaire. You stupid. It's the Canaanite billionaires that want all the land up to the Euphrates River. It's some Canaanite billionaires that want all this stuff called Palestine off the map. So you're still talking about the whims of billionaires, actually, not even millionaires, multi-millionaires like the F1 drivers. Billionaires. People with even more money. Who more unattainable money. You're going to have to talk about them if you actually want to talk about the Gaza situation. But no, you weren't ready for any of this Gaza shit. You were just trying to do a whole fucking... This guy, bro. There's a whole lot of cowards who disguise themselves as virtuous people. You aren't virtuous. You aren't virtuous at all. You didn't know anything that was going on in Gaza. You didn't know people were starving. What? Is the starving brother? When I saw the baby on the tarp in the street, that's when I lost it. That was on the news. Do you not watch the fucking news? That was on the news a year ago. That was on the fucking news, man. Public, they put that on national television, international television. Babies on the damn tarps in the streets because the hospital's been fucking bombed down. And here you are talking about starving children. We're so far past starving children, motherfucker. Of course children are going to be fucking starving if there's babies who are being left on tarps in the street because there's no fucking space in the hospital that's been fucking bombed, and all the fucking incubators are out of commission because they've all been fucking wrecked. That's when this was a fucking genocide. My fucking country's lawyers went to the fucking ICJ, proved this shit is apartheid. It's still going on. And you out here pondering why the fuck that shit's happening. Why aren't people talking about that? Brother, they can do that shit. Ignore the fucking ICJ and ICJ ruling? I didn't know people had power to just ignore this shit. They can ignore an ICJ ruling because they ignored all the fucking metaphysics for fucking Abu Dhabi 21, the whole 2021 season. Never mind, Verstappen was supposed to be fucking copping a race ban at some point this season, and you still trying to sell the bullshit. Nah, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. You wasted everyone's time. Sincerely, you wasted everyone's fucking time. You wasted your own fucking time. You didn't take the opportunity that was in front of us. You failed to play your role, and now you're fucking upset, and you're gonna try and act and pretend that you were really about justice and all that shit. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You were never about fucking justice. You were about your ego. Your stupid fucking ego that inflated your stupid small head to gargantuan proportions, and here you are now suddenly comparing yourself to Skepta like you fucking changed the culture. You ain't done shit. You ain't done shit. My fucking videos I forget about. More valuable than all the shit you did. By orders, multiple orders of magnitude. It's not even fucking close. But I'm fucking nice. Everyone has a part to play. I appreciate the parts everyone plays because, for instance, I'm not gonna shill for myself. So, you know, what would my subscriber count be if no one was shouting me out? Probably still I'd probably still be at like 110 or something. Not that I mind. I want the content to be hard to find, but fuck me, man. You had a fucking role to play, and now you're upset at everyone else because you didn't play a role. You had you had the easiest role in the whole operation. It's okay. You know what? It's fucking okay. You know why? Because my fucking plan was longer than your fucking time scales anyway. So I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care what you decide to do. Genuinely, I would suggest not doing the anime power scaling, because God damn, I would suggest not doing the anime power scaling, because you don't have the knowledge for that. I'll be frank with you. The people who have the real knowledge will start pulling out reality warpers and narrative warpers on your ass and say, these people you named aren't the strongest. Here's the strongest, so on and so forth. Pull out literal gods that switch reality without even knowing it and shit. Yeah. And here you are talking Goku. Shits, bro. Like, there's only fistfights that can happen or some shit. I don't know, man. Who you have winning in Goku versus Superman? I tell you what. I don't even care who you have winning in Goku versus Superman. Because all the shit all the conclusions you came to was stupid. Stupid. And devoid of real fucking character, man. Devoid. Fuck. It was about stupid ego over these stupid numbers on the screen. Oh my god. Disgusting. Disgusting. Pig-sgusting. Ew. Gross, man. Gross. All this ego over some stupid numbers on the fucking screen. Fucking, how old are you? I understand people do very crazy things for these stupid internet numbers on the screen, but how fucking old are you, man? I was talking about reputation earlier. Brother, the things people do for rep. People will prostrate themselves for rep. People will make organized rep circles for rep. They'll have all schemes for rep and shit. Brother, there's a lot of ways to get rep if you really want rep. I don't know why you'd have to do all that. People make whole dramas over rep. Because, rep's a real number. They treat it so real, bro. Give the poor moderation team a whole fucking headache because why the fuck are they taking this stupid internet number so serious? Well, shit, people take these subscriber counts real serious. I understand they might be attached to money, but that's really the views. That's really the views. That's really the watch time. That's where the money is. The money is not in talking no truth. People don't want the truth. People want a nicely packaged lie. It makes them feel better about themselves. Doesn't sully up the world for them. You see, a thing I aim to do on this channel is to post transformative content. I want to transform people when they click on the video. Now, of course, it's not an easy thing to do, but I want to transform people. When I talk about the black nobility and all of this shit and how lustery beat racism, I want this to transform someone. I'm not just out here doing some soapbox shit with F1 as a theme. That's the best interpretation of what you were doing, Wonderful. Best interpretation. You see, I appreciate FF1's soapboxing because he's experienced both sides, right? He is living proof that lust beat he is living proof that lust beat racism, innit? I suppose the whole Euro region is living proof that lust beat racism, but anyway, they wouldn't want to be told that in such a hurry. That's why they foment all these fake narratives this way and that way. But some people, some fools, some wonderful fools are still talking about racism. It is what it is, bro. You like white gal though, right? Ooh, the racism don't work there. It is what it is. Hey, it ain't what it. But seriously, Wonder Flip Flop. Yeah, don't be trying to lie to audiences about channel growth and all of that shit. I was here. I saw it. And I understand the machine better than you. I told you what would happen with your channel growth. And shit, you believed me. You even made a video saying that, oh, YouTube is neutering my channel growth and all of that. It's deleted now, of course. But yeah, you made that video. Right? Happened to you, but it can't be happening to anyone else in the space. You're special. Right? That's what big ego does to people. You're special. It's only you. You know what's crazy? This guy is gonna go to work and he's gonna be talking about, as he put it, millionaires' problems. He's gonna be talking about the football. He's gonna be talking about the F1 maybe, who knows. He's gonna be talking about industry beefs, hip-hop beefs and all of that. And yet he's out here hypocritical, motherfucker, yeah? You don't even realize what you're doing in your own daily. Fascinating. But he's gonna be out here telling people to stop talking about the F1 and shit. And then he's gonna go talk about that shit in his daily. That's funny. A huge ego attached to stupidity. What a combination. You see, I like being taken for a fool because it means you don't pay as much attention. That's great. You should have paid attention. Not only to me, but to your damn self. You don't even know what's left or right anymore. Anyway, that should be the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there, homie. Hey, let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. Go! She really wanna pop me. Go! Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. Go! You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a thing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win, and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death, and now I move a little foul. Nigga better call a rap, and everybody know my style. Niggas know that I'm the best when it comes to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, and I bang in the east, and I banging in the west, and I kinda give you more, and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street, and you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and you know we gotta go now try to keep up with the pace. If we struggling and hustling and set it and get it.